All right. Well, hey, welcome to the broadcast. Will, I have you here today because we're super excited to kind of announce something that I personally believe this is going to be a game changer in our industry. And of course, Opus is on the forefront of that, which is no surprise here. But one of the things that when I owned my schools, Will, that was always a big frustration of mine was dealing with my phone service, right? Like I went through, I don't even know how many different phone services I went through. I did like, the Comcast thing, Xfinity, whatever you want to call it. I did like a local line. I tried like multiple different numbers, for marketing. And I tried the Google thing. I did. And finally I ended up using, I think it was Ring. Yeah, it was Ring Central, and they had a pretty good product because you were able to do kind of some different things with voicemail and all that kind of thing. But it still wasn't like ideal. Like it worked pretty well. But one of the things that I was always trying to figure out how to solve was figuring out how to deal with, like, you get to a certain point in your school where you have to hire admin, right? And when you hire admin, one of the challenges is you're not always there when they're answering the phone. You're not always there when they're calling out, and you don't know necessarily how much they like if they're actually following your system. The only way you can know is if you record the calls, is if you monitor those calls. And man, I have so many horror stories with this, but like what I remember one particular front desk staff gal, it was so bad. It got to the point where it was so bad. There was one evening where she had a shift, and I think she was working like 4 hours, 5 hours, something like that. It was an evening shift. So this is like busy, during the week, busy time.
Yeah, prime time hours.
Students are coming in. Yeah, calls are happening. She didn't answer one phone call. The whole time she was sitting behind the front desk, she just refused. Like the phone's ringing, she's just not answering because she didn't want to. And the only way I found out about this was one of my teachers. They had told us later on that, like, hey, did you know that I'm not going to name her name, but did you know that she didn't like, I don't think she even answered one phone call. I don't know. And so we went back into the Ring Central and I looked and I saw like every single call that came in was missed. Like, and she didn't even try calling them back. Like it was just straight. She didn't answer the phone. She didn't want to. And of course she went on her way and she didn't work with
Sheesh.
it. Was bad, right? It was horrible. And that taught me though a very important lesson. Like you don't know. You really don't know unless you have some type of monitoring system, unless you have these things in place, like what's happening when people call in. The other thing that I learned is that even though some people, they'll pick up, they answer the phone, they'll call out, all that kind of thing. And you could have scripts, which we did. We had scripts, we had processes, we trained them, we told them what to say, but people wouldn't follow the script, right? Like it's like, this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to say when somebody calls in, this is what you want to do. They just didn't know. And so we would tell them what to do. They didn't do it. And unless we recorded those calls, unless we actually had a system for like grading them or, what do you call it? Mystery shopping. Then there just wasn't a way for us to really know. Right. And so I actually had multiple services. Like Ring Central was like my recording platform, but then I think I had another one. I can't remember what it was called, but it would essentially, you would listen to the calls and it would give us a score, like a grade as to how the front desk admin could have done better. And then we would use that to train both on the, like if it was a bad call, we would train like this is what not to do. And it's a good call, like this is what you want to do. But it was a hassle, right? Like, and it's like we had to deal with this. Now, what, like I said, the reason I wanted you on this call today is because this is a big deal. Opus One is now introducing something, like, in my opinion, a solution, a massive move in the right direction, a solution to the issue of admins actually being monitored. Right. So it's well, I'm going to let you introduce it, Will. So tell us what this product is, what it's called, all of that.
Yeah, thanks, David. Yeah, so it's been a little bit of a secret project of ours we've been working on very diligently for the last few weeks. We've been dropping a little breadcrumbs here and there over the Facebook group, getting people excited about it. But here I am officially announcing that we are launching Opus1 Voice here in the near future. Opus1 Voice is designed to be a replacement for your Ring Central, for your Grasshopper, for your Google Voice. And to all those pain points you just brought up, the difficulty of making sure your admin are following the script, that they're giving a great customer experience, that they're actually even answering the phone, right? Opus1 has a solution for all that. So today we'd love to give a little teaser to all of our customers and show what is possible with an integrated voice solution from Opus1.
That's awesome. That is super exciting. So walk us through this. Okay, so basically what you're saying is that Opus now has it to where your phone, like the calls are coming into Opus directly and it's monitoring it. So walk us through how does that going to work?
Awesome. Yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get a demo going. So, Opus1 is just like we've done with SMS in the past, now going to be able to handle your school's voice service, right? So here I have my phone service set up and I can call any of my customers. And when a customer calls me, I know exactly who I'm speaking to. One of the frequent pain points we've heard from many schools, parents and students, sometimes they have similar names. Sometimes you have customers calling in. You don't know exactly who you're talking about. Your admin might spend a decent amount of time trying to find out the student record. What prospect are they referring to? Which lesson are they talking about that they want to cancel? And we believe that our voice service is going to accelerate that and take away a lot of that admin time spent fielding those requests. So here I have John Doe, my typical Opus1 client. And with Opus1 Voice, anywhere in the product that I see a phone number, I can, with one click, set up a call and place that to John Doe. Opus1 will allow your admin, therefore, who are sitting at the front desk in Opus1 all day long, to place calls directly to all of your students and parents. We have all of your customers' details, their contact information. There's no need to reproduce that in two separate systems. So we thought, why don't we give our customers a way to call their parents and students directly through the application?
Okay. So admin can go in, they can hit the little green call button right there, and it dials straight through the Opus call feature, right?
Yes.
Like this isn't through a third party service. This is directly through Opus.
Yeah, that is correct. So for those of you who may be already using our SMS feature, this means that you could have all of your calls and texts in one place, live in the same place that all of your classes' schedule and billing lives, right? So no more worrying about third-party integrations, trying to get call records from Ring Central or Grasshopper into Opus so that your admin know who called which student at what time of the day. We're going to be tracking and recording all of that, and we're going to be doing some really exciting things with an AI-powered sentiment analysis to help ensure that not only your admin giving a great customer experience when they're working the phones, but they receive tips and areas of improvement based on the interaction with that customer. And if the call doesn't go as well, the sentiment analysis will be able to call that out as well so that you can upskill your front desk admin.
So basically, you just got rid of 2 or 3 services right there. The sentiment analysis is super cool. First off, like AI in there is just basically going to say, hey, this person did a good job on their call, or no, they didn't do a great job, or it was positive, negative kind of a thing. And then it's going to give tips, or is that like, how in the world does that work?
No, that's a great question. And that's exactly right. So here I set up a few fake calls just for this demo with John Doe. And you can see in a few of those calls, I didn't do my best work. On one of them, I had a great experience with the customer. And so Opus, our AI transcriber, will listen to the call. It'll figure out what the customer's expressing, what they're saying that they need. We can give you a summary of the call. So you as a business owner, right, it's unrealistic if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 admin to read transcriptions of calls all day long. You've got a lot of stuff to focus on. So we want to give you a summary so you know generally what's going on between your customers and your administrators. But beyond that, we give you suggestions, right? In this call, my customer expressed that it was impossible to get anyone to pick up his phone calls, much like the story you mentioned of that admin who sat at the front desk all day for a shift and did not pick up the phone once. And you see our AI suggestions here can clearly call out that I, the admin, should have apologized for the inconvenience I caused to John and assured him that the issue would be looked into, offering a solution, maybe a direct contact number for future inquiries, or a discount on lessons as a gesture of goodwill. So our AI is going to try and help ensure that you're giving your parents and students the best possible experience, right? And to the point of training, which you brought up, right? When you have a great customer experience, that is such a valuable resource to be able to use for a future hire. When you bring on another admin as your school grows, you want to make sure you have a benchmark or an example for that admin to work off of. Opus One is going to be recording the calls as well. So you as an owner, you can go and look at the call recordings. And if this is a great example of what not to do, you can download and save that for future trainings. And this call, being a positive interaction, is a great example of how to do this correctly. And you can save that as well.
And it even says on that listing, like, does it say which staff person actually received the call and or initiated the call and all of that, so you can monitor like who's getting graded and how well they're getting graded?
Precisely, right? So here on the left-hand side, we have the staff who was placing the calls and receiving the calls. And then if I'm evaluating on a case-by-case basis how my admin are doing day in and day out, I have a convenient filter here where I can look for specific staff and I can look at maybe their week of work and make sure that they were answering calls on time, that they were giving a great customer experience. And if any of those were maybe not missing the mark, I can record those, I can listen to them as the owner, and then give real feedback to my administrators on how they can improve next time.
Yeah, this is amazing. So I think that this is why I say this is a game changer, because it's not like AI is there's other services using AI, but the fact that this is all in one place, it's already built in, you're already using it within Opus, and a lot of people don't realize how important it is, and that's why I tell the horror stories of some of the worst experiences I've had with managing admin staff. Like, you have to monitor this stuff. This isn't optional. If you have any intention to, eventually get a little relief from working inside your business and scale and grow and all that, you have to be monitoring. You have to be seeing what's going on. But to be able to do that from a bird's eye view like this and just see negative, negative or positive, positive, like, that's amazing to have that type of, and it saves you so much time, so much time.
Exactly. We love to say on our end of things that you can't improve what you don't measure, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a business who's making those calls, if you're not measuring the outcome of the calls, you will never be able to really guarantee that that high level of customer care that we all aspire to is being replicated day in and day out from your front desk admin at your business. David, you said something earlier about having everything in one place. I don't want to gloss over this awesome feature either. Opus One, already in our prospects features, tries to give you and all of your admins a nice combined view of all of the most recent interactions with that customer, activities on their account, what trial lessons are they signing up for, who texted them last. And I'm excited to show that with the release of Opus1 Voice, we are also going to be able to give you and your admins a combined view of the calls placed between your admin and your prospects here as well. So no more are you going to be flipping between your Grasshopper to see which admin talked to this person and then going maybe into Opus or another system to see the SMS records. In our prospects view, you now have a view of all of the phone interactions with a customer, whether it's over a voice call or texting them back and forth. So here I can see what I saw on that calls page as well. I can see a quick summary of all the contents of that call between myself and John Doe, along with our sentiment score, whether it was really positive or negative, was it answered or not, along with some tags describing the high-level themes of that call. This is really going to supercharge your admin's ability to work together to transform those leads into returning customers. And the best way to do that is by giving them an amazing customer experience.
It's amazing. Yeah, Will, this is a game changer. I know I keep saying that, but this is a big deal. And if you're listening or you're watching this, I know that you're excited too. Stay tuned for more. We have more coming out, right, Will? There's going to be more details rolling out on this.
Oh, of course. Yeah, this is not even all of the awesome features that are going to be included in the initial rollout of Opus1 Voice. We're planning a awesome webinar with our CEO and founder, Sam, who many of you know, where he is going to go through all of the tiny details about this feature, how it can work for your schools, and just how much impact this is going to have for the businesses that want to adopt. So stay tuned. This is just a few of the exciting things that are coming with Opus1 Voice.
Awesome. Thank you, Will.
Thanks, David.